Good morning or good afternoon, whatever time you guys are listening. Welcome back to the 10th episode of the Layman's AI podcast. I am Adam.
And my name is Brian.
And so Brian came up with this great idea, and I loved it as soon as he said it. So moving forward with the Layman's AI, whenever we have an episode that ends in the number zero, so we're on 10, so next time will be 20, we are going to actually ask AI tools to give us the topic for tonight's, that episode's topic, basically, that discussion. The discussion will be centered around whatever AI tells us it will. So, hey, Brian, can you tell us a little bit about what you did? Because I know I saw it and I thought it
Mm.
was awesome. But tell us a little bit about what you did to coach Gemini. We used Google Gemini for this one.
Yes,
How
yes,
did you
Gemini.
coach Gemini into getting us an idea for tonight's episode?
Yeah, it's real simple. At first I told it to look up the Layman's AI podcast, and I told it to do a search and just kind of find it and locate it, so it had a good starting point. And after that, I said, give me a list of all the episodes, or take a list of all the episodes and everything. And then I told Gemini, I'd be like, hey, I'm one of the hosts of this podcast, and it says, oh my gosh, so great to meet you, blah blah blah.
I thought it was
And
going to ask you for an autograph. I really did, the way
Yeah,
it
maybe.
reacted to
Yeah,
that.
maybe if we get more followers, I might get that. But either way, told them like we're looking for ideas for a new episode or our next episode. So it gave me a whole list of different ideas and says, okay, you could do this, that, and the other. And I chose one. I'm like, okay, I want to do this episode. Now give me a simplified outline for the episode. And we took that outline and now we are bringing it to your listening ears. And today's episode title, brought to you by Gemini LLM, is AI and You, Creepy or Convenient Personalization.
So I'll share with you. I love this topic because it is something that I've been thinking about. How far does the line go in terms of data privacy, or how much can AI realize in a short amount of time? I remember when I first used TikTok. I was actually an early user of TikTok in the United States. It's not because I'm cool and I'm trendy. It's because I'm a former
Hmm.
high school principal, and my kids in the school were using it quite a lot.
Gotta
So I
know what's
wanted to
out there.
see, yeah, I wanted to see what is this that they're using, because now these girls are dancing in the bathroom and not going to class, and they're
Yeah, they're
recording
doing the latest
themselves.
dance. I've actually seen that. Like I've gone somewhere like the Children's Museum with my kids,
Uh-huh.
and you see them setting up a phone. They're doing like this,
Yeah, they're
like little,
dancing all
little
around.
dance, and I'm like, you're like just making a TikTok right there. This is just weird.
I'll tell you what, at one time as a principal, I saw the boys' bathroom when I was a small high school. Boys' bathroom, I'm hearing loud noises. It's one of the last days of school, like one of those
Hmm.
June ones. You know, nobody's up to no good. And I hear loud noises and the lights are off, but I could see there's like a flashlight thing. And I'm like, what is going on? So I charge over and I get in there, and all I see is a bunch of smartphones with their lights on, and there's somebody dancing in the middle. So I flick the lights on, and all the guys were in there with their cell phones holding up, looking at me shocked, like, "Oh, hi, Mr. Schnug. Hi, hi." And I'm just like, "What are you guys doing in here?" And they're like, "Well, we're filming. You got to do the flash bathroom challenge at TikTok."
No,
Like,
you
you're not even
don't.
supposed to have cell phones. We had a strict no cell phone rule. It
Wow.
was, I mean, they were all good kids just doing something stupid, but it was just
Yeah.
that's a type thing. So what
Yeah.
I'm saying though, back to my original point with TikTok, TikTok was very dangerous when it first came out. I didn't realize that because there was obviously the accusations of the stealing of the data,
Hmm.
but the algorithm that it used to make you keep watching was very good.
Yeah, it's almost too good, a lot of these algorithms and everything.
I think at the early version of it, I thought it was too good. I mean, I was
Yeah.
notorious for watching my sports and then during commercials putting on TikTok, and I could tell you there was many times where I just kept watching, and when my sports came back on,
Hmm.
it,
Yeah, it can be kind of scary almost. I remember one time Facebook, I was on vacation and I went on vacation. I just kind of like sit back with my morning coffee, laid back because you know you gotta soak in that sun on your vacation.
Mhm.
And I open up Facebook and I'm just kind of like scrolling through your news feed like usual. All of a sudden I'm seeing advertisements for retail or real estate, I should say, on the location I was vacationing. And
Wow.
I'm just like, how does it know this? And then I'm like, oh, Google Maps. It's tracking me through Google Maps. And that's not necessarily AI, but this is kind of like where these sort of like personalization algorithms come into play is when everything you click on, everything you search, it kind of starts to tailor feed your advertisements. It tailor feeds like, hey, you
Yeah.
like this, you might like this. And it basically takes, these 10 people who liked, the armadillos, they also like wombats. And basically, I'm just kind of like pulling names of
Right.
animals out of my you know what, but essentially that's what the AI algorithm does is says, okay, people who like this, you like this TV show, like Netflix does that,
Yeah.
recommended for you. And all the other streaming services, they're like, you like this, you might like this based on, likewise what other people like, and
Yeah.
that's where the suggestions come in.
It seems to connect the dots much, much better and much faster than people could by
Hmm.
talking to other people or even reading research. It does know, and it is hilarious to me how quickly I believe one of these algorithms for I think it may have been a TikTok along those lines was able to accurately identify a person's age within 4 or 5 years and their demographic in terms of their
Hmm.
socioeconomic status
Yeah.
within I think 30 minutes of using TikTok. It was something
Hmm.
ridiculous like that, and I can't
Yeah.
remember where I read that, but it was absurd. And I do know that it definitely had my age pegged correctly because at one point it was showing me all these clips from great movies from the 80s and 90s that were
Hmm.
hilarious and up my alley. And then
Hmm.
it was showing all of a sudden it starts showing me World War II snippets and barbecue snippets. And I'm going, this is exactly what I want to watch. I didn't know I wanted to watch it at this time, but this is exactly what I want to see. And then it
Yeah.
became the fishing video. So I'm going, oh, this is even better. What's really cool. Uh,
Yeah, that's I mean I think that kind of leads into the convenient side. Like there's the creepy,
yes.
there's convenient, there's good, there's bad with anything in life. And that's kind of where sort of you come in with the convenient side is because, that's how advertisers can start targeting you and
Hmm.
everything like age demographics, where you're traveling, where you live. Are you male? Are you female? Do you like this or that? And, a lot of the advertisement agencies, they kind of use these algorithms and they've been using AI for a long time. It's only
Right.
started to really come into the forefront once people started to realize, how much they're using your data. So I think like any of your like sort of activity on a social media page and everything, then it starts, okay, you're looking up these videos, check out this product and everything. And like, oh, you like these videos, check out the other videos.
Yeah.
So it does kind of give you a sense of, something good. Like, if you're like cars or what have you, you might not like I don't know, beauty products or what have you. So why would, you show beauty products meant for, teenage girls to a 40-year-old man who
Right.
wants to research, like you said, barbecue and smoking recipes. So
Right.
that does kind of like stop wasting your time and what have you. So it can be convenient in a way, I would
I
say.
agree. I agree. And I would say this. I know we're going to talk probably Netflix at some point. Again, I
Hmm.
feel like I've said this before. But with Netflix, there's now research that says more people are watching the previews of what Netflix suggests for you than actually
Hmm.
watching and starting new series and new
Hmm.
movies. And it's because their AI algorithm for getting an idea of what you want to watch is pretty accurate. They're connecting those dots. So if this person's watching Happy Gilmore, well, I need
Hmm.
to make sure the Happy Gilmore 2 trailer's up there. And while I'm at it, hey, have you ever seen Billy Madison? Maybe you should check that out. Maybe you'll like that
Hmm.
one. And there's this other one called Big Daddy. It's connecting dots
Yeah.
quite quickly. And I feel like if you unconnect the dots, it finds new dots for you to go to very quickly.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of I've noticed that too. Like I had a documentary kick on Netflix, and suddenly
Oh
it showed
yeah,
me all
that's
these
the best.
documentaries. Like
Yeah.
Netflix just aces those documentaries for some
They
reason.
do. They're so good. They're all different directors, and they're all done in different styles, but they're so good.
Like so many things. I'm not going to give a plug to any specific one, but yeah, Netflix is like acing the documentaries, but there was a while that's all I would watch. But then it would say suggested for you, and it was all documentaries. And sometimes I'm like, I'm just kind of tired of these
Yeah.
documentaries and
You.
everything. And I will admit, I had a guilty pleasure kick. My wife and I started watching those dating shows, like Love is
Oh,
Blind, Married at First Sight, and a couple of those. We had a kick
okay.
for those. And it started suggesting a lot of those reality TV shows.
Oh
And
no.
we started to watch like kind of the offshoots suggested for you. And I'm like, This is horrible. Like like these people are no longer real.
Oh,
This is so obviously fake. So
oh,
that's when we got kicked back into documentaries, and now I'm watching like true crime all the time.
that that's the other. My wife watches that a lot, along with the other
Hmm.
ones that you were watching too. Yeah, true crime all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a guilty pleasure kick, but we're over it now.
Hmm.
But I mean, it does a good job in that. But sometimes I wonder, is it driving us too much towards one thing sometimes?
I think it is. I think especially when we talk about that in shopping, I,
Hmm.
I'm always amazed at how Amazon seems to do a good job of, well, if you're buying this, you should consider buying these additional things. And then you're looking at them going, okay, I'll speak from a barbecue world. It's like if you're looking at this cutting board that also collapses into like a storage container, you should also consider getting these tools that go with it or the repair kit in case you pierce the side. And I'm going, that makes so
Hmm.
much sense.
Yeah,
So instead of spending 49.99, now I've just dropped, $78, but hey, it's free shipping. So
they got you.
they
They
got
got
me.
you.
Yeah,
They
there.
they they want you to spend more money. They got you.
That's it. That
But
certainly seems to be it.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, shopping like that, like whenever I'm like shopping or what have you, I'll be looking up like I haven't really shopped much in a while, but like we'll look up like kids stuff. My kids are growing; their ages 3 and 7.
Uh,
And they're two females, so like I got two daughters, and they keep growing or whatever. And Amazon keeps recommending this toy, that toy, this toy, that toy, and it almost like identifies a progressive age, and it hooks you in, and you end up like, wait, do I need to buy all this stuff? Do I really need to buy all this? Yes, I do. Click buy, instant buy now, and everything. But yeah, that kind of leads us into the next topic, creepy side.
yeah, the creepy side.
Is
This
there
is the
is there a creep
one.
factor to it? I say yes.
There's definitely a creep factor to this.
Hmm.
Now, you and I have just talked about discussions on, and I'm going to go a little off topic on this, but
Hmm.
like you and I have just talked about examples of shopping and viewing pleasure, right? What if the
Hmm.
creepy side is, oh, this person likes to search these weird things. They have a vice in this. I can now show them pornography in this realm. I know I've gone off
Yeah.
a pretty big ledge there, but I don't want to be unrealistic and let people know that, like, unfortunately, there is an AI in pornography and an AI in a vice
Yeah.
thing that's out there. And
Hmm.
if it's able to get you addicted to shopping or shopping a little more, it's certainly going to be able to get you to do some negative
Yeah.
things. I,
Yeah,
I I
definitely.
actually also, in addition to porn, I think there's going to be a huge problem in the years to come with gambling and AI.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, gambling has already been accessible with those online poker sites.
Yes.
Which, I will say it's been a lot of people have run algorithms on it and found out that it's not as random as a deck of cards, because they
Okay.
want the pots to get bigger because they take a percentage of a pot.
Wow.
But that's kind of what I've heard. I'm not going to say that definitively, don't sue me. But that's kind of where you get into the creepy side. I can see a gambling vice and everything like that. But go back to the creepy side, like I was talking about a vacation, they knew where I was vacationing. And it's
Yeah.
like it makes me feel uneasy that I'm getting tracked so much.
Yeah.
And I mean I'm using Google Maps. It's so convenient and so nice, but then they're processing that data and selling it out to these advertisement agencies, and suddenly you have like data is your gold mine. Where you're traveling is
Hmm.
huge on where you're going to advertise and everything. And I'm just vacationing to the spot. I'm like at a rental or what have you, or someone else's rental that they graciously allowed us to use. And I'm like, it doesn't mean I want to buy something out here, but it's
No, but
it's right there.
they're
It's
rolling
like,
the dice to get you to spend money on that case.
yeah,
Uh,
the tracking side creeps me out a little bit, I will
it does
say.
creep. What creeped me out was a couple weeks ago using Waze, something I've used for years. They had some type of an update, I think, recently, and I will tell you that when depending on the time of day, I turn on Waze, it assumes I'm taking my
Hmm.
boys to hockey practice and puts the name of the hockey center up there, assuming I want to go there. It's right about 80% of the time. I am going to the hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am going to the hockey rink
Hmm.
at that time of day, and I'm going. You're able to predict where I'm going.
Hmm. Yeah, that's
Uh,
yeah,
uh,
like that's where like the tracking thing gets out of hand, and nobody wants the government to track you. Like we
oh,
don't
come
want the
on, Brian.
government to
They
be
already
tracking you.
are.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I know, but like
Yeah.
do we want a private company tracking us as well? Because it's only
Hmm.
you're only a hop, skip, and a jump from the government taking that tracking data from the private companies. So I mean that is kind of a
It's true.
creepy side to it. So I mean that's kind of scares me a little bit, I will say.
It does. It is scary, especially when you're thinking about this. I mean, your private life once you start going online and
Hmm.
connecting things, and it's probably the cell phone is probably the worst one.
Yeah.
It's not exactly private.
No.
I'm still blown away that when social media came out, everybody was, it was mostly for college students, as a matter of
Hmm.
fact.
Yep.
And everybody was like, don't post anything because they could use it in years to come, even when you delete it. I'm still to this day baffled that if you delete something, somebody still has it. And I am certain that is 100% accurate. And now
Hmm.
we have AI able to connect these dots. It's, it's interesting and it does get a little creepy when if somebody wants to do deep research on you,
Hmm.
how long till they get an AI agent to do your background check and that AI agent's able to connect dots and say, well, it was likely this person was at
Yeah.
this event at this time.
Yeah, that could be scary, and especially with teenagers now on social media and everything. And everyone's like watching all these like dumb challenges, like what was it, the Tide Pod
Oh yeah,
challenge,
the time. Oh my
like
gosh.
the cinnamon challenge, and like this, that, and the other. And,
Yeah.
and they think it's funny, and like I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, these kids nowadays are so dumb. I'm like, we were always dumb. Like the only
Oh yeah.
difference between the kids now that are doing all this dumb stuff and the kids when we were kids, and even prior to that, our parents' generation, is that they're recording this and putting it on the internet.
Yeah. And
Like
actually,
our teenage years aren't on the internet, and your teenage years aren't on the internet, and our parents aren't. And you
right.
got to like realize that and everything. So it's
It's
yeah, that
difficult. I
yeah.
mean, it is difficult. I mean, I remember with the draft, why am I drawing a blank? Allen, the Buffalo Bills quarterback.
Hmm.
He dropped a little bit, not a lot, but he dropped it. I remember I wanted the Browns to get him, but nobody listens
Yeah.
to me in that organization. Sorry, that's a
No, of
whole.
course
Sorry,
not.
sorry, didn't mean to do that one. Okay, but he dropped, and it was because there was concern over a tweet that he sent when he was like 15 or 16, something he retweeted.
I hate when
That,
people do stuff like that.
but I'm also laughing, going, he was 15, 16 years old.
Oh my
That's
God. Could you imagine you and me tweeting our thoughts at 15 or 16 years old?
no, we talked about him on the bus where nobody can hear it. Like
Yes, that
we,
that was the whole thing. And it's like, everyone's like judging like, people like coming in now that have grown up with social media and, people are doing all these research and everything. And it's like, no, these are the same things we were doing and saying,
right,
like you and I. And it's like, you're a dumb kid. And that's where like also the creepy thing comes in is that it can track you from when you're a child,
yeah.
and it could like form you as you're growing and
Hmm.
everything. And I think that's kind of an issue right there, and that kind of goes into another point. Like it creates an echo chamber almost incidentally, I would say, is
You
that
could definitely say that because what happens when these things are able to connect the dots, not because of your social media posts, but because of your parents' social media posts about you?
Mhm.
Like every parent
Yeah.
brags about their kids on social media. I'm
Oh
guilty of
yeah,
it. I know people don't
I've done it.
care. I just sometimes like to put it on there so that I know he's doing well,
Yeah,
that I remember they're doing well.
yeah, when my
Um,
kids do something, I'm proud of them and
yeah,
everything that I'm proud
yeah.
of.
And now the AI is going to know in years to come. Look, your daughters were this. They were successful at this. They did these things. It's they're going to be able to connect the dots in a creepy way, like that echo chamber that you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like not only that, it like takes like all your internet searches and everything like that, and blog posts that you read and YouTube videos that you watch, and it like slowly leads you down a path that you don't realize half the time,
Hmm.
and it almost like unintentionally you're self-indoctrinating es- to a point, and because you're like clicking on this article, you're reading this blog post, oh, you like this blog post, you like this YouTube channel, and next thing you know, you think the Earth is flat, and you like you totally stumble into this, and it's like I'm a flat Earth believer, which is another funny point. One time I made a
Yeah.
joke on Facebook about flat Earth, like just kind of like a little bit of humor or something like that. Next thing you know, I'm getting like posts from groups like flat Earth groups. I'm like, what? and,
I just
and,
saw
and
one.
that's where that AI algorithm
I
comes in.
just saw one the other day. It's funny you said this, and that was in my algorithm the other day because I saw
Hmm.
one that said it was a picture of the Death Star. And it said, "Don't believe what you heard. The Death Star was flat," and it had like a picture of a flat Death Star. And I was kind of
Yes,
laughing, going, "Okay, that actually is kind of
kind of
comical."
funny.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
kind of
pretty fun.
funny, but no, I was getting posts from like legit flat Earth groups, and I'm just like, I don't want to see these people. I made one joke,
Yeah.
and then like one time I was browsing through my news feed or whatever, like the Microsoft news feed, just kind of casually browsing, and an article came up, and it was about Native American dishes that traditional Native American dishes. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll
Hmm.
check this out and everything. And they had some pretty good ones. Kind of like some ones you'd like probably be able to guess, like a lot of corn type dishes or
Oh,
what have you. And
not
I'm like,
the tofu stir fry that we
no.
analyzed last week. Not that.
No, like check out that episode. That is an interesting one if you're listening. Check out episode 9.
Yeah, check
But
episode 9. Check that one out on YouTube is what I would tell people because you actually
yes,
get to
yes.
see what we did. Yeah.
Yes, that is very interesting. But so I clicked on this one article about Native American recipes because I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. It sounds pretty interesting. So I'm like, cool. Then the next day, I'm flipping through my feed again, and it's like Native American dishes, Native American dishes. I'm like, I checked out one article,
Yeah.
like, like it was one article, and now you think I want to like start a Native American restaurant? It's like no disrespect or anything. And, like there were some good dishes, but my goodness, it was just weird.
It is. It is weird, and I think that that's happened to everybody before. This
Hmm.
you type in a new category one time, and all of a sudden there's advertisements in your Facebook feed. If
Hmm.
you're on TikTok, the videos have all of a sudden changed, and like half of them are about that person that you YouTubed or something like that.
Hmm.
It's we've all been there.
Yeah.
I shared in an earlier episode the craziness of the Chuck Spinagle incident, and I know not many people know what we're talking about, but it was a running joke in my high
He's
school
an
that
urban legend.
he's an urban legend. He's an urban legend, that's for sure. Yes, 30 strikeouts and still lost the game in extra innings.
Poor guy.
But yeah, poor guy. But with that said, though, there was a conversation about him years later, and the running joke was that he played for the Montreal Expos because nobody knows anybody who played for the Montreal Expos in the late 90s. So,
Yeah.
and then the next day, after a conversation about Chuck Spinagle on Zoom, there's Montreal Expos throwback stuff in my Facebook ads. That just it blew my mind.
That's the creepiest thing right there is it's listening to your conversations.
Through Zoom. Like
Yeah.
I'm wondering if tomorrow I'm gonna have Montreal Expo stuff
Yeah,
in my ads. I'm curious now.
I'm wondering if I'm going to have some Native American restaurants too, and like
Oh, yeah.
other things. Well, you know what? I might actually try it. I might actually try it. Like
Yeah.
that like because there were some good dishes. I recommend looking because there were some interesting cuisines. But like that's the whole thing, and our data. Like this is all data,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what AI is just nothing but data. And who owns this data? And everything. Like we're
Yeah.
talking, you talk through Zoom. The Zoom own your data. You're paying them the service and everything. They're
Hmm.
listening to you. They record you. They take on all this data. Now
Yep.
they have it. So now they can sell it to advertisers and everything like that. And where's the line here, essentially?
Well, and
And where's is it?
we've said it before, the AI right now is the Wild West.
It is.
Not much regulation, and this stuff's been going on for a long time. And you know what? We don't want to be in the creepy weeds too much.
Hmm.
What are some things that our listeners can do, or some things that we've done to protect ourselves from being tracked all the time? And you guys have heard us. We're not
Yeah.
protected all the time. We
No.
we still get these weird things happen. I will share something I do whenever I'm using an AI tool that I don't want linked to me directly, which is most of the tools that I use. I don't have them directly linked to me. I have a dummy email account that I use. So if it takes data, it takes it from there. But I don't, I do think it's only a matter of time before an AI device goes, okay, this dummy account is clearly Adam, and it's clearly Adam because Adam searches for these topics and Adam likes this kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's clearly, I mean, you can only like, talk about the Cleveland Browns so much. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, it's Adam
exactly.
again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that Adam guy. He's just like hockey, Cleveland Browns and principal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna throw some other ones in there, but no, I mean it's data is like this, this gold mine right now. It's like the San Francisco gold rush
Hmm.
right now with data. Everyone's like trying to find it. So it's kind of it goes back to a point that we made before. You gotta we have to have legislation. We have to
Yeah.
regulate this somehow, and like we have to like protect the citizens. And the Constitution is a document where the government owes the people. And I'm like starting to get political. I'm trying to stay apolitical as far as like conservative or liberal leanings, but that's kind of what I think ultimately needs to happen. But I think we need to, kind of going into our next bullet point here, your balance. Like,
Yeah.
how can we balance this out? What can you do for yourself? And I think number one is check those privacy settings.
Amen to that. I don't think people do.
Yeah.
And that was something I was warned about years ago. And
hmm
fortunately, I listened and took it pretty seriously. So I do check those privacy settings.
hmm
I will tell you right now, do you want to accept cookies? No, no,
Never.
never,
I
never.
either reject them or only accept necessary.
Yeah, I have accepted some. Yes.
Yeah, like some of them are necessary. Like I get to a point, but yeah, you want to try to turn off as much tracking as possible.
Hmm.
I would say you're
Yeah.
not going to get rid of it all completely, but as much as you can, try to check those privacy settings.
And recently with the new apps, I used to say when it would ask for my location, I used to say when in use,
hmm
and I have now changed it to never.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
hockey rink
definitely.
thing really did scare me a little bit. I go because it was there's 80% of the time it was accurate. I'm heading towards the ice rink. How does it
hmm
know that? It's not supposed to be even on, but for whatever reason, whenever I plug it in Apple CarPlay, it turns on, which I
Yeah,
had no
so
clue. Yeah,
it's always following you. Like there's that GPS locator. It's like tracking all your movements and everything like that.
yeah.
And there has to be something where we can like shut that off and
You
everything.
know what? I say we go the opposite route. I say we turn it on and I strap it to like my neighbor's dog and just have him
hmm
go wild or something like that. Or
Oh,
I,
like strap to a wild animal. That
oh,
would
I
be
like
fun.
that. Yeah.
Or like get an underwater one, strap to a great white shark or something.
Maybe a trained bird or something like that.
That could be a fun one. Just kind of like screw it up and everything.
Yeah,
That could be a fun one. But yeah, I mean, what else can you do really? I know there's like some web browsers that are starting to grow in popularity that don't track your data.
do you
How much of that is true?
so I'll share with you. I use one of them. I'm assuming you're referring to DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, that's the big one right now.
That's the big one. I use it, and there's
hmm
still times I'm going, it knows what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's kind of kind of what I wonder here. But I don't mind like a service or a web browser or social media account tracking my activity while I'm there. Like if I'm on Facebook and I'm looking up this page, that page, watching this
Yeah.
video, I don't mind it, tracking what I'm looking at on your website. Or if you're using DuckDuckGo, I don't mind it
If
tracking searches through DuckDuckGo.
I agree with you because if I'm using their service and their
hmm
goal is to learn me so they can better serve what my needs are as a
hmm
customer, it's hard to argue against that. I think where the stickiness comes or where the real problem comes is when they then sell that data or
Distribute it,
or
yeah.
distribute it out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the advertisements come in and everything, and that's where like the over-targeted ads start to get into the creepy side and everything. And I think that's kind of where, the companies should, take that balance or what have you, is like, okay, should I violate my customer's privacy? Which, I'm
Hmm.
saying, once you lose that trust, I've heard the metaphor, having someone's trust is like a clean sheet of paper. Once you crinkle it, you can smooth it and smooth it all you want, but it'll never be that crisp, clean piece of paper ever again.
Was that
And
from Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World?
was it? I don't know. I've
I don't
heard it
know.
before.
I don't know why I'm picturing him with a piece of paper and he's cutting it in front of Corey. Like I'm
Yeah.
picturing it. Man, that was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, you have that clean sheet of paper, and it goes through with people, businesses, everything. And when you don't violate the trust, you got that clean, nice sheet of paper, everything's good.
Hmm.
Once you violate that trust, it crumples. And you can work over time, like unfolding it, straightening out, flattening as much as you want, but it will never be that crisp, clean thing right there. And I think that's what a lot of companies need to start realizing, is that, if they're going to trust you with the activity on your website, don't violate that trust because a lot of
Right.
these companies already have, and it's starting to hurt them quite a bit.
Yes. And I will share this with you. I don't see it on our bullet list because I do know I've done this recently. I
hmm
have actually asked ChatGPT to list what it knows about me.
Hmm.
and it was pretty accurate, and it's mostly based off of my searches. So I wasn't blown away. Like they didn't know when I was going to my son's hockey schedule. They didn't
Hmm.
know that.
Yeah.
They know I was a member of the organization. They know that I'm the vice president of the organization. They know that, but
Okay.
ChatGPT knew that. But it was interesting. Now, a lot of stuff it was able to pull online, but you can actually run, I think it's called a JSON, uh,
JSON.
JSON report of yourself. There was a
Yeah.
specific prompt I saw somebody use in one of the LinkedIn pages, and when I did
Yeah.
it, it was pretty accurate. It did a good job. I didn't feel violated though. That like it wasn't anything
Yeah.
that and it's only based off of current links that you have in there. So when I deleted a conversation, that was not in the data when I asked for that.
Yeah, yeah, basically JSON for people that don't know, it's kind of like a data format. And when you break data down into a JSON format, it actually helps clean and train the data a lot easier and everything. Well,
Oh, okay.
actually after you clean the data, it breaks it down to a format where it can analyze it a lot easier. So that's basically what a JSON format
Okay, that
is.
explains it. It did
And,
different
and
colors, categories, indentations. It was actually very
yes.
well laid out, in my opinion. It was very easy
Yes.
for me to understand what it knew about me.
Yeah,
And
it's basically a data format. I know there might be some tech nerds that are like raging at me right now, but in layman's term, it's a data format, like after your data's cleaned and everything. So
okay,
that's what JSON is.
all right. Well, so then I did do the right thing. I mean,
Hmm.
I was impressed with what it had, and I
Yeah.
was happy. I didn't feel, like I said, I didn't feel violated. There wasn't anything
Yeah.
like outside information, like, oh, you know who Chuck Spinagle is, and like
Hmm.
there wasn't any of that. It was all based off of relevant uses of the tool.
Yeah. Yeah. So like that's kind of one thing. You can do right there is just kind of like, maintain that trust. And like that's more me calling out companies, like calling out businesses and everything like that, because, you know, you have that data and you can make money off it. You can see dollar signs all over the place. But once you start violating too much data trust, then that's going to be an issue right there.
Yeah,
I think I'm kind of repeating myself, but that's kind of, you know, something to think about. And what can you do, like we said, turn off the location tracking as
yeah,
much as possible. Try not to post your entire life online. Don't sit there and like post everything about your life. Like I see people, friends, people I don't know, just laying it all online, and I'm like, why are
yeah.
you putting this on Facebook? Like some people get like really personal about deeply personal stuff.
They do, and
And
I feel like I have to be that guy that says this to them. Nobody cares.
yeah.
So don't post it out there. Don't put it out there. So many things are going to happen.
Hmm.
Deep down, some people are actually going to be happy that you have problems and they don't.
Hmm.
And then you got the data's there too.
Yeah,
So
that's the other thing right there is like when you post something that personal, like your date, like now you're putting that into the algorithm. Now
yeah,
you're giving AI something to look at. Even if you delete that post, it's still in the background and everything.
yeah.
And when you post something so personal, like seen people post stuff about their divorce and everything like
That's
that, and
usually it's sad that
people
uh,
calling out family members and stuff
somebody's
like
been
that.
cheated on or a bad business
Yeah.
deal, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've seen heated conversations, people posting screenshots, and I'm like, in the heat of the moment, we all say stuff we don't mean and
yes,
everything.
and I'm guilty of it
And
too. I remember when
I do that
I
all the time.
yeah, I still I don't do it as often. It's a lot easier when you're older to not get as angry as you used
Yeah,
to.
'cause you ain't got time for that no more.
You don't have time. It just doesn't matter. But I will
Yeah,
say when LeBron made his decision to leave Cleveland,
yeah,
I was
that
very harsh on social media towards him. I hope he forgives me because he came back and won a title. But
yeah,
I was very harsh to him on social media that night, and I should not
yeah,
have been. So
yeah. That's the thing right there. It's like heat of the moment stuff. Like
yeah,
take a breath. It's actually I've listened to I think it was an Elmo song. Take a breath. And
I,
it's like almost singing to like
oh
kids,
thank
like
goodness. I do not
take a
miss
breath.
that phase. I do not miss that phase at all.
It's not so bad. It's not
It's
so
not so
bad, but
bad, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, that's the big thing. Like try to like really, if you were like rage posting, like take a second before you hit that send button.
Yeah.
Like really take a second.
Another piece of good life advice: do that before you send that heated email.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't send it. Wait, wait, wait. Ask AI to revise it for you. I
Hmm.
know we're talking about keeping your data away, but
Yep.
that'll help you. And
Yes,
it's a good
definitely.
piece of advice. Hold off on that
Definitely.
rage email.
Yes, definitely. But anyway, kind of wrap up topic here. Call to action, conclusion. Like what do we think? Is it creepy or is it convenient? Adam, your thoughts.
Overall, I still think it's convenient.
Hmm.
There's creepy factors to this that I don't like, just like anything else. Just like anything else in society, there's things you like about it, there's things you don't like about it. But I think some of these, when we talked about connecting the dots earlier, like we said, if this person buys these merchandises, they're more likely to buy this other type of product as well. I think
Hmm.
there's going to be a good side to that. I think there's going to be these people with these small diseases are more likely to have these things develop over time, and we could catch it quicker if we monitor it. I think those types of connecting of the dots where they are using data, our medical data. I think there's going
Hmm.
to be some good things in the future. I think we're finding out more about healthy foods now than we've ever known before because AI can connect the dots between research that's been done in
Hmm.
multiple languages.
Yeah, I've done that.
So I still think it's convenient. I do love when I go on Netflix and it suggests stuff for me, and
Hmm.
it's almost sports documentaries and history. And just I pulled up my phone today, and ESPN Plus was like, "You should watch this on Jim Abbott. This documentary
Hmm.
on the life of Jim Abbott." I'm like, "Heck yes, I want to watch it. Yes,
Did he
yes,
throw a
I
no
do."
hitter or a perfect game?
No hitter for the Yankees, but fun
Okay.
fact, I know you might find that's fun. You do know he had no right hand.
Yes, yes.
Yes, everybody knows that. He went to Michigan. He was a pitcher at Michigan, so naturally
Okay.
I like the guy.
Yeah,
But
nice. Throwing a
yeah,
no hitter. That should be an automatic ticket to the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
I know, and he had every excuse in the world to not pitch because it's dangerous on the mound
Hmm.
with no hand. I mean, but anyways,
Exactly.
I definitely want to watch that.
Yeah,
So in that case, it's convenient.
yeah. I mean, yeah, in my opinion, it's creepy venient. I would say
Ooh,
that
creepy
that's
venient.
my that's kind of my word there. Like there is a convenience factor, like you said, it advertises products. Like personally, I'm not interested in exfoliating scrubs. My wife will be interested in exfoliating scrubs probably. But it does give you like kind of those things right there is like as far as shopping, like product recommendations and what have you.
Hmm.
It also sort of gives you the kind of like recommended for you by Netflix and everything. It does kind of go into that factor, but kind of the creepy aspect, and this is something we really didn't touch about. Is it I think I might have touched about it actually, but it almost gives you like a self-indoctrination, if you're not careful. Like
Yeah.
it's really easy to self-indoctrinate without realizing. And I think that's where a lot of people will get like, the political debate and everything like that. They'll just start, raging into one direction, and next thing you know, that's all they watch is like those videos that like basically reinforce what you think and everything because all the recommendations or what have you. But kind of the one thing that comes to mind here is I was watching a news article a long time ago when streaming was coming out. And we choose what we want and everything like that. And everyone's like, oh, this is so awesome. I can choose whatever I want. I don't have to flip through cable and see everything like that. And there was this one woman on there, that this kind of like stuck with me was that, if you choose too much, if you're always choosing, you never get exposed to other ideas. And I think that's kind of where the creep factor comes in is like, I can choose, I can choose, I can choose, but I don't expose to something that I never would have considered before.
Right.
And I think
That's a
that
good point.
yeah, I think that's kind of like what I miss. Like, cause cable, I mean, you remember flipping through cable or seeing
Oh my God,
the TV
the
guide channel.
channel, TV Guide channel, the
Oh
going to
yeah,
channel 13 and waiting to see what's on
yeah,
the
and and
because
and,
it's scrolled. Yeah.
and sometimes you just click on something, and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna watch this because it's what's available right now,
Yep.
and you kind of got exposed to something that you wouldn't have exposed yourself to, and I think that's where we kind of like lost the direction right there is to, you know, we're not exposing to other things. We're choosing what we expose ourselves to.
Yep.
And ultimately that's up to you. You have to make that conscious decision, be like, you know what? I'm gonna watch a documentary on daffodils.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna watch that because
Okay.
I'm tired of seeing smoked meats, true crime, and presidents. I'm gonna check out the flowers. Stop and
Check
smell the
out the flowers.
roses.
Oh gosh, I should say, what's the one documentary that everybody jokes? Oh, African and European swallows. There's
Yeah.
the migration patterns of an African and European swallows. That should be a
Okay.
documentary.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. But either way, I think we had a pretty good balanced conversation, I'd say. I think it's both
Yeah,
creepy and convenient, but there's a lot of good, a lot of bad, as with anything in life. And, we need to, focus on the good, but be mindful of the bad so we can get rid of that, I'd say.
I'd say that's good advice.
I definitely would. But either way, that about wraps it up for tonight's episode. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Layman's AI. My name is Brian,
And I am Adam.
and we will see you next time.